Well, you know, I realized something. I'm in this now, what, 30, 40 videos, something about 2 months, a little more than 2 months. And I've only been able to play my bass one time during that whole analysis section. I've only gotten to touch my bass one time. Look at it. Look at it, man. Look at how pretty. It's like the size of me dick. 6-string bass, man. You just can't go wrong. Look how pretty. Fan fret and blue. Looks like a freaking Lamborghini, man. All right. Well, hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Anthony. Some people call me Twan. I'm a multi-instrumentalist, a singer, a mix engineer, and I'm here just to talk about bass, just to look at bass. So hopefully whatever song pops out the beanie today, we get to touch it with bass. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, we'll see. If you want to get an analysis suggestion into the Beanie of Justice, it's very simple. All you gotta do is comment below. We've got Nightwish, Tribal. Ooh, this could be a bass song. We could have Matko Hitala. I don't know what era Nightwish this is. It could be post Matko Hitala, in which case it's the Winter Sun bass player. I think his name is Yari. Could be him. He's also a very good bass player. We could get some bass today, lads. So I found one live. Let's see how this goes, man. I mean, it's Nightwish. I don't need to say anything more than, oh shit, it's Nightwish. Here we go. I believe this is off of the Human Nature album because Tribal reminds me of part of that. Am I right? I could be wrong. True Nightwish form, really cool VFX. Phrygian Dominant. Evil. Oh, there he is. It's the man himself. That was interesting. Ah, it's post Marco. This is wild. Very like. I'll tell you later. Cool. Wow, this song is interesting. Listen to that bass though. What is happening? That was nice. Good feel. Good drum feel. There's the little whatever thing that Troy Donacally plays. This feels like Nightwish. Nice little triplet. Oh, that was the end. Oh, well, that went by really fast. That song was... What? Huh? Okay, I've been lied to. This was not the it might have been a live recording, but there were lots of different live performances cut through there, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that by any stretch of the imagination. Just wasn't quite exactly what I was expecting. But that's okay. Okay, what was this song? What was this song? Like, I understand from the name, you know, what they were kind of trying to do here. This was the caveman stuff. They were using some pretty typical Nightwish stuff, which, let's see if I can get this right without fumbling around like I did last time. The song is in D. D minor. So they were doing the thing that Thomas Holopinion loves to do. I don't know how to say his last name. I'm gonna say it different every single time I do this. It's the 1. Then I went to the 6 in minor, by the way, the minor. So the 1 and then the minor 6. There it is. But it was, instead of what it should have been, which was a... That's, you know, what the chord should have been. I believe it was a D minor and then a B flat minor, because that's kind of the evil thing that Nightwish tends to do quite a bit. Versus... Which I think that's what was going on there. But there was lots of like kind of Phrygian dominant stuff in this key. And that was a little Dorian at the end of it. But that is used quite a bit too. With a little bit of harmonic minor. What's cool about all this is you can combine lots of different modes to create something very new, like what I just did there. So what I did was D Phrygian dominant, which sounds like this normally. But I combined the D Phrygian dominant with a harmonic minor, which includes this. Harmonic minor sounds like this. So it has this major 7. So what you can do then is combine both. Go Phrygian dominant up halfway, then switch to harmonic minor the other half. And then you have this like, which sounds, that's a very Nightwish thing to do. To have this just big like, you know what I mean? That's a very Nightwish thing to do. So a lot of what you can get away with that kind of stuff. Not get away with, but a lot of very creative harmonic and melodic decisions can come from melding some stuff together. And Nightwish does that all the time. Cool. That was fun. That was cool. I'm getting to finally express my piano chops a little bit. I'm gonna try and find an excuse to play this bass. Because this was live, the bass was cutting quite a bit. And what I really liked was, so there's 2 ways you can play bass. Now we're gonna kind of go on a little bit of a tangent here. It's not gonna take very long. There's 2 ways that you can play bass. You can do it the kind of cool jazzy way where you're just hitting the note. You're hitting kind of nice that. Or you can do it the metal bass way, which is to play the string, and it's like what Steve Harris does, and you smack it into the actual wood of the fretboard and of the pickup, and you get this like, kind of sound. And so it's, you know, I think I've said this once before, but like that's kind of the running horse thing versus like a... Right. And so I was hearing that a lot in this. I can't remember the actual notes, but it was just like this, like, it was just like this thing, like, what key was it? Maybe this? Yeah, because it was in D, right? So it was like a... Which is very percussive. Like, it's a lot different than just... I think he was playing with a pick, but even so, you can get very percussive with it instead of just like a... You can really dig into it. And either way, you can do it with fingers or with a pick, which is really cool. Just, you know, something very small, but it's about how you play. When I record bands, you know, and I mix them and everything, and they come over and they record in my studio, I am so very picky about bass players because every note, if you really want a really solid bass performance, every single note that you play on a bass needs to be very consistent because it's bass. This is the low end. This is the bass. So if your song is going to have some balls and going to have some low end, you have to have a very specific low end. You can hear that with really good players like this. It's a very consistent playing, especially when he's taking his pick and he's playing these 16th notes. Like that's a very consistent low end. Whereas, you know, if he was kind of playing like ass, it would be like, you would hear it. It would sound... Or he's like, you know, getting all this noise or playing stuff like that. It's not good. What I noticed here was that was not that way. His notes were very nice, very consistent. And that might look easy to do, but it's not. Like this takes practice to be able to like... and try and keep everything consistent all the way through. And what's hard, I don't know if you heard that, but as you go up to higher strings, you actually have to play harder because if I play the same, they get quieter. So down here versus up here, I'm playing the same hardness. So every string you have to kind of back it up, harder, a little less, a little less, a little less to keep it consistent. It's a very... It doesn't look that way, but it's pretty touchy and it's pretty sensitive to get that kind of clarity. And I was hearing that through the live recording, which is crazy. That's how crazy consistent it was, is, you know, when you can actually notice it. Boom, I played bass. I'm happy. Now I can sit there for the next 2 months and never get touched again. All right, what else can we talk about? Obviously, we got to talk about the Flora Jansen. Very interesting. She was pregnant. But beyond that, the superficialness. What was interesting about this song specifically was some of the runs that she was doing. They were super clean and really, really spot on. Like the pitch did not waver at all as she was doing those trills. And what makes this stuff very difficult is, as singers, we train to sing the scales. You know, you can sing da 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 da, and you know, like we know the scale degrees. Switch to minor, da 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 da, and you can switch back and forth between. You need to know these things so that, you know, when you sing, you don't have to spend time searching for pitch. All that shit goes out the window when you start using stupid scales. Then you have to know how to sing da na 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 na, and like doing all these weird different kinds of scales and you know, moving into different keys and doing some jazzy stuff when they're cheating and doing that crap again. You have to know where you're going. It's very freaking hard, and it throws you off. It's like learning when you drive, learning how to drive in America on the proper side of the road, unlike you England Brits out there, where you drive with the driver's side on the left side of the vehicle, driving on the right side of the road correctly. And then it would be like traveling to England and having to readjust how you do everything. You can still do the motion of driving, but it's the small things that break your habits. For instance, when you drive in America on the proper side of the road, your shifter is by the right hand, but in England, the shifter is by your left hand. It's the small things like that where your immediate habit when you need to shift is just to reach down here instead of reaching down here like this. It's the same thing here when you're singing. Your like internal pitch thermometer, whatever you call that thing, is telling you, okay, we're in this scale, we're at the 4th scale degree, going up, we need to go a whole step. Whereas whatever stupid scale that Tuomas has him playing in says, no, you only need to go half step. It is unnatural, let me tell you. So the fact that she can navigate, especially with these trills, with these real quick runs, going up and down through these more intricate, complex scales, super hard, very impressive. But of course, it's Floor. It shouldn't surprise you that it's impressive. Yeah, but I think that was the biggest thing that I noticed. Everything else is kind of a rehash. Yeah, her voice is just so big and so open and so consistent and so just supported and consistent. And did I mention how consistent her voice was? It's insane. Even with a thing crawling around inside the belly, she's still very consistent. That sounded so insensitive, but you know what I mean. With stuff, especially with a little dude or a little lady in there pushing on your diaphragm, making all this stuff, just throwing off the equilibrium of something you're used to controlling for the last, I don't know how old she is, 30 years or so. I don't know. But that's the point. Just all these things that only the most world-classest of world-class singers can overcome with no issues. That's obviously the Floor Jansen. I've said this before a bunch of times, but I'll say it again in case anybody's new here. Something that's cool to listen for when you have a singer who's compressing amazingly well is you get a singer who's compressing into the microphone that's also compressing in a different way. That makes the vocal do something that I call slamming the ceiling. This is not a technical term. This is how I visualize this. So Floor is very, very good at this. There's some other examples that I might pull up here, but say you have the song and the song is sitting here in this space. This whole song may sit in this box, okay? This is how I picture the sound. The music and everything is kind of sitting right around here. It's gonna look like a dick. These are the testicles. Then you have the vocals that sit right here, okay? They sit on top of everything. They're the vocals, they're the most important part. Fight me if you disagree. What's really cool about that hitting the ceiling thing is, for me, when you have a singer singing with good compression, that's going into a microphone, that's going into another compressor, and they're jiving perfectly, you get the vocals that come here in the middle, they hit the ceiling, and then they go like this, and they split off. And now you get this huge, I don't know how to explain it. It's a sound of the singer that sounds larger than life, but they're not doing anything magical on the back end to fake it. This is her voice that she's compressing and hitting so well and so nicely that it's literally filling up this space with just one voice. If you don't know what I mean, check out this example. So when she hits the someone else's memories, it just sounds like she's belting and she's, wow, she's way up there and really kind of pushing into it and sitting very pharyngeal, it's very forward, it's very raspy, and it's, but there's another layer to it. Like, it sounds like she's, I don't know how to explain it, but it sounds like the vocals here, and then when she hits the words someone else's memories, it just boom and explodes to the top side. That's the only way I can describe that. And Floor does that with pretty much every note that she sings, and it's insane. And I'm not blowing smoke up anybody's ass. I hear this every single time I listen to a Nightwish song. It's insane, the level of control and consistency and power that she has. It's unreal. You're not supposed to be able to do that. It's just, you're not supposed to be able to do that. This is all I've got to say about that. And then, okay, yeah, wow, I've got a lot to say about this song, let me tell you. So, Tribal, I'm assuming this was caveman kind of deal. And if this is indeed in the Human Nature album, like I think, We're in the human section, as you know, we're following the progression of humans through time, I believe is the concept for that record. So there were lots of homages paid to ancient instruments. We heard lots of kind of caveman drums. I don't know what the technical term is for that, but very, you know, caveman-ish in some of the vocal stylings as well. And we had lots of like the hoo, which is clearly caveman speak. So that was really interesting as well. Just the fusion of, you know, modern symphonic metal with, dare I say, just caveman drums and all that stuff. It was very interesting. It's something I've never heard before, and I'm pretty sure you saw in my face when I got confused that was happening, because it's very unique, and I was not ready for it, clearly. So that was cool. And I think I noted this, there was only really one section where I was like, oh, this sounds like Nightwish. Like, if Floor wasn't singing, I'd have a very hard time picking this out as a Nightwish tune, except for that one part near the end. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's unique and, you know, it's different. It's something you wouldn't expect. Subverting expectations is a very good thing, especially when you're on studio album number 700 or whatever this is for them. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's just so much more to say. I mean, Mr. Troy Donackley was doing some pretty cool unison speaking parts with the Floridians, and that was very interesting. He was doing a couple of his cool instruments that I can't remember the name of. I think one of them was like an Irish flute or something. I don't know. The comments section will help me out with that one. But yeah, very, very interesting song. I liked it very much. We had some really cool drum fills too, which I like that quite a bit. Really cool, kind of some jazzy chop fills. I caught a couple of those and was like, yeah, I like a good drum fill. What can I say? All right, I'm gonna shut up. That's a lot to say. Well, thanks everybody for sticking around to the end of the video. I appreciate it very much, and hopefully maybe you get something out of this. Maybe you got some, maybe you learned something. Maybe you learned that you want to go buy this 6-string bass on eBay for $2,000 USD, or maybe you just got some ammo to leave a hate comment for me. Either way, it doesn't matter. Just, you know, put something down below to help with the algorithm, grow the channel. If you like what I do, though, I sing for 2 bands, play guitar in a third. All the info is in the description below. And on this channel, I do like one-man band cover songs where I'll play all the instruments and mix and master, shoot the video. All myself, just me, nobody else touches it with their grubby little fingers. It's all mine, it's my project, because I'm selfish. So if you maybe want to see some of that, consider hitting the subscribe button, sticking around, and we can do some fun stuff together. And with all that said, if you did not catch that, was get out in Caveman.